We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com.
Here we go. Damian D recently moved. He moved, and he is in the process of setting up all his home theater gear again. Nice fresh start. He has a JVC RS1 projector, which has never been professionally calibrated. He decided to attempt some improvement using the Spears and Munsell second edition disc. He's gone through the basic calibration process several times with mixed results. The image is sharp and detailed. The colors look relatively accurate, and lighter scenes look pretty good. But the blacks look crushed, and darker scenes seem quite noisy, with shadows sometimes having a bluish purple tint, and gradients from dark to light having noticeable stepping. Are there video settings in his Marantz 6006 receiver possibly compromising the picture quality? If so, is there a pass-through function? His source is a PS3. Is that the cause of these problems, or is there something else that he's missing?
Yeah, so we need to take this a little bit in steps at a time, because there are certainly settings in the PS3 that could be causing some of these issues. So let's do the easy one first. Your Marantz 6006. It does have a video processing capability. If you go into the settings, into the video section, turn video conversion off. Also turn the internal scaler off. You do that, and it is not touching the video anymore. You turn video conversion off, and it's just whatever comes into the port, what gets sent out the port. Perfect. So that would take the Marantz out of the equation, because with the video conversion on, you actually do get picture setting things for like contrast, brightness, saturation, color, those typical user settings. You do get that, and they are per input. It actually has different settings per input on that Marantz. So that could affect some things. If you don't want them to, just turn video conversion off. That's easy. Now let's talk about the PS3. Because the PS3 has a couple of separate places where you can adjust the video output. There is the video settings, and there are the display settings. You want to basically make sure, and we're actually going to have a link to a guide that goes through the settings, and I look through them, and I'm like, yep, they got that right. So if you want a reminder of these, we'll have a link at avrant.com. But the important things are, for the video output setting, you want to make sure that's actually set to YPBPR and not RGB.
Right.
For video, that needs to be a YPBPR signal.
That would definitely cause some of what he's describing.
Some of this black crush, potentially.
Yeah.
In the display settings, because there is a separate thing that's just for RGB, because the games always come out as RGB, you want that set to limited, not full. Limited means that the signal comes out in the video standard, not the computer compatible standard, because you can
two
connect
different things. Yes.
Yeah, you can connect a PS3 to a computer monitor, then you would want RGB full range, but you're connecting it to a television, you want RGB limited range. You also want the super white setting on. Super white setting allows you to have above black or below black and above white information. Otherwise, that gets clipped off by the PS3. And that could explain some of these things. If you were trying to set your black level using Spears and Munsell and you don't have below black information, you'll end up setting it wrong. So you need super white set to on in the PS3. Those are the major ones. If you have the video output set to YPBPR, the RGB under the display settings set to limited, and super white set to on, at least your PS3 should be putting out the correct signal. Right? After that, now you know that the Marantz isn't touching it, the PS3 is outputting correct settings. Now you need to go to your projector. If your projector's still doing this, I think it's your gamma setting. I think
that would also crush things, yes.
Yeah, I think maybe your gamma is set to something other than 2.2 or 2.4, which is where you would normally want your gamma to be, either 2.2 or 2.4. Because if your gamma is set incorrectly, then you're going to end up setting your black level incorrectly, your contrast
the whole thing
level incorrectly. That would be my guess, because Spears and Munsell isn't necessarily going to walk you through setting your gamma, because that isn't something that you can just measure by eye, unfortunately. So I don't know, James, you've done calibrations.
Yes, I have the equipment to do it. And it's difficult to do it by eye and using a disc, because if it's your source, then you're already started in the wrong direction. Although those first two are very important, and getting the receiver to do what it's supposed to do or not do, actually, and the Sony PlayStation doing what it wants to do. And then you're going to have to find maybe some calibration hardware to actually calibrate, or someone locally who can calibrate it for you if you want the perfect. There's some good stuff out there that you can purchase that it's a DIY. I saw one demonstration where the software was put on a disk or a laptop, went to the projector, and then they used an iPad to balance and it worked very well. It did.
So that was actually like your light meter was your iPad.
Yeah, your iPad was a light meter, and then it put up all of the color scopes, and you just looked at it, and then you get your blacks, so you lose that black radio lines in your pictures, and that worked really well. And those are all you can find those online. I wish I had read this one problem. I would have gotten the information for you. I'll pass it on to Rob, and you can post it
forward it to me, and we'll put it in the show notes. Okay.
It was really cool.
I want to know if my phone has a colorimeter app I could get.
Yeah. So cool. The cameras in your phone and in the iPad should be good enough, better than your eye. And
better than my eye, yes.
And catching that stuff.
And this is a popular phone, so I might actually be able to find something.
Yeah, it's pretty cool software. I'll find it for you and then send it out.
Okay,
so
great.
Do you remember the old days where you used to put a blue screen, a blue film in front of your eyes?
A blue filter in front of your eyes, yep.
Well, that's basically what this does.
Except using the camera.
And it's way more accurate and very fast.
Okay.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.